Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Rant Squad. I am the Water Dog. This is
Jordan.
This is
Bernard.
and we are giving you our fantasy standouts. Who should be on your fantasy roster for Week 13? We're the experts. We're going to tell you. That's right. We're the experts, brother. We're going to look at our current scorings for our little standout pick'em right now, and Brendan is still in the top dog spot, but the ground is getting closer. That's right. Brendan's at 28, Clint's at 25, and I'm at 24. So we are just creeping up on you, brother. You had that big lead, and so now all of a sudden it's just going down. So we're going to get to it. We got some picks for you, brother. Who are our standouts? Let's do it to it. We're going to start with the IDP. And so, Mr. Brendan, who you got?
So last week I went with TJ Watt. It was pretty disappointing, I have to say. But this week I'm going Micah Parsons versus the Giants.
Oh.
That's a very good pick.
I think even on top of them cutting Daniel Jones, though, I don't really have a lot of faith in the Giants offensively. Micah Parsons had a really good week this past week against the Commanders. So give me Parsons this upcoming week to have a really good game.
That was the first game the Giants just quit. That's the first game that you just that was a team that quit. And then you know.
Yeah.
I think even some of the players talked.
I feel
about
bad for Tommy DeVito because he didn't quit. But
no, yeah, but the team had quit, and some of the other players were talking about it. So Michael Parsons, that's a good pick. Clint?
Absolutely. I'm going to go with Jesse Bates. If Atlanta, if they have a route to win, I think one thing that's been a little noticeable is the Chargers. They've kind of developed their pass game a little bit more. I think J.K. Dobbins hasn't been as effective. Obviously, he's coming off a couple of injuries, but I really like Jesse Bates. I think he's one of the best safeties in the league. He's going to be all over. I really like the Micah Parsons pick. I might have had it, but in audible just about 3 seconds ago. But anyways, really, really nice. I like Bates to maybe come in and possibly get a pick six.
All righty, I'm going to go with Bobby Wagner. And they got Tennessee at home, and got to get a comeback. So here we go. So let's see what they can do. So I'm gonna go with Mr. Bobby Wagner. Let's do it. We're gonna move now to the tight end position, and so Brendan, who you got?
Yeah, at this position, I'm done taking long shots. I don't care what Clint says. It's gonna be Travis Kelce versus the Raiders. If there's one team he definitely shows up against, it's gonna be the Raiders. Their team is really they're done for the season. Their defense, everybody, I feel like they're done. Pierce has lost his team. I know Crosby said he's going to keep playing his heart and soul out every play, but he can't cover Travis Kelce. So Travis Kelce has a very big game against the Raiders.
All right, Clint.
I've been so frustrated with this player because he's been so good, and it's going to be the week I picked him that he's not going to do anything. Give me Jonnu Smith for the Dolphins, man. The dude's just been on an absolute tear. He's targeted, he's getting the touchdowns, he's getting the yards. I feel like, but he's always been such an athlete, and that's what Miami does. Miami says, give me athletes and we're going to let them play. And it's crazy because this past week, Tyreek Hill was the one that didn't do anything. But I like Jonnu Smith, and I just think Green Bay, that could be a really good game. If it is in the cold and it gets down to it, Tua's going to need his blanket. And I feel like he's really been going after Jonnu since he got back. So I like the Jonnu Smith.
Probably my biggest bench warmer in the league.
Oh, I know. Thank God he's been on the bench.
Forever, because I have such a good team. It would be a spot start on a bye week.
And it's hard to pull one of your known studs for Jonnu Smith.
Correct. And then you just look, you go, oh God, look what he scored here.
Yeah.
I'm
just saying.
It's all happened here in the last few weeks since Tua's been back. Tua's been back, that's been the change.
Yeah, he had some good games without him, but he's been better, yes.
All righty. I'm going to go George Kittle. 49ers really only got one stud out there in the field, and that's George Kittle, and they're going to have to throw the football against Buffalo because Buffalo's going to score 28, 35 points. So I'm going to go George Kittle, and let's see how that rocket rolls, brother. Let's move to the running back position. Brendan?
This man will not let me down in 2 consecutive weeks. Give me Joe Mixon versus Jacksonville. Wow. Like I said in my previous episode, Houston is only good when they can run the football. They have to understand that. They're playing Jacksonville, and I know they have a Luquan on the other side.
The Jacksonville's come off a bye, so they should be a little bit more prepared.
But my thing is, Houston has to understand we have to run the football. Or they could lose this game. It wouldn't surprise me if they cannot run the ball, losing to Jacksonville. And so I think that sense of urgency, Joe Mixon runs hard. Give me Joe Mixon to be the #1 running back this week.
All right.
I look at a team that needs a really big bounce back, and that's the Los Angeles Rams. I think Kyron Williams, I think they need to run the ball. I thought they ran the ball well against Philly. I think it was a simple factor of Philly just outscored them, and they had to kind of abandon the run game. But the Rams are going to get to play the Saints. The Saints have one of the worst rush defenses in the league, in my opinion. I don't think they're very good. Their defensive line has clear holes in it, other than Chase Young and an aging Cameron Jordan. I think this could be a really good game for Kyron Williams. I think he actually sees a touchdown through the air and on the ground this week.
All righty. I'm going to go Bijan Robinson. They're coming off the bye. They've got to have a win. They're going to be going against the Chargers. And so this happened to be the win. Especially, coming off the bye, you've got the time to prep. Hopefully, they are going to prep using Bijan Robinson, because that's exactly what I do. You take your best athlete, you get your best football player, and you make sure he gets 25 touches. If you don't do that, then, get rid of that offensive coordinator. But I'm going to go Bijan Robinson right there. Wide receiver.
I'll tell you, wide receiver, I have not taken. In any of our fantasy pick'ems, that's Puka Nacua versus New Orleans Saints.
Well, I guess that leaves to me, I really like Calvin Ridley. He started to come on this now that Will Levis has been back these last 3 games, he's looked a lot better. He hasn't made the mental errors. They are throwing the ball to Calvin Ridley ever since DeAndre Hopkins got out of town. They're playing against the Commanders, who I think their secondary has been a little susceptible the last few years. And hey, I've been preaching for Calvin Ridley for years. I've had him in Kelly's league for years. I kept him when he was suspended. I kept him when he wasn't playing. And with Garrett, I think Garrett Wilson might end up falling apart at the end of the year because of if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play for the Jets. So I need Calvin Ridley to come in and be my savior as I hope to continue and possibly win my very first Super Bowl in that league. So give me Calvin Ridley.
All righty. I'm going to go Mike Evans. The Buccaneers, he's going to be the target. And so they're going to be playing at Carolina. Baker Mayfield's just playing good football. He's throwing about 2 to 3 touchdown passes a game. Mike Evans is going to be the #1 target. You got to figure Mike Evans is going to grab 2 of them for 150 yards. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go Mike Evans. Quarterback, Mr. Brendan.
So in our point system here, I had a really big lead. And both of you kind of creeped up on me. You're on my tail. Where honestly this week I can go from first to last, honestly, with the way these things have been going. So there's an old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. And I have harped on both of you for stacking. And so the heck with it, I'm going to try not to go in last. Give me Matthew Stafford.
I like it, yeah! Woo!
To stack with Puka. Hopefully one of them can save me from going to last place this week. But Matthew Stafford consistently, I think, gets good points. And so I think he's a safe pick with a very high upside to be the #1 guy.
All righty. Clint?
I'm feeling kind of, I haven't picked, I realize I don't think I've picked this player all year. And I'm not stacking because I don't pick Will Levis. I'm not doing that. I'm not crazy. I'm going to go with Jared Goff this week. I think if they don't have David Montgomery, I think they might have to lean on their passing game a little bit more. On Ross St. Brown, James Williams, Sam Laporta, Gibbs in the passing game. Give me Jared Goff. I feel good about it.
All righty. This quarterback's been on a tear the last few weeks. He's throwing anywhere from 2 to 3 touchdowns a game. It looks like he's finally got the mojo going. He's got all the receivers working. Having DeAndre Hopkins out there in Kansas City doesn't hurt. It looks like Worthy's found his place and a little bit of a rhythm for him out there. Travis Kelce's been catching balls again. And so, man, they're playing the Raiders. I got to go Patrick Mahomes, man.
I like it.
I like Mahomes for 3 touchdowns, 300 yards in this game.
See, I don't. I picked Kelce in this game simply because he can get catches. I think he'll get touchdowns.
Which means Noah Gray's the new tight end in town. Haven't you seen?
But what I mean with this, these two teams hate each other. And it's personal when these two teams play. Because even when I think the Chiefs played them earlier in the year, I don't think Mahomes lit up the stat sheet in that game.
Well, he hasn't lit up the stat sheet.
In all honesty, the first 6 weeks of the season, he hasn't. It's really only been about these last 4 weeks, that he's really started to play and really kind of hit a stride.
I just think that's bold.
But I think a lot of that has DeAndre Hopkins coming to the fold.
Hopkins
So,
has
so
held.
Hopkins has changed the dynamics of the offense.
But this could be the first game back for Isaiah Pacheco, so they could look to run the ball and
You
get
saying
a
3
little more physical.
touchdowns and 300 yards?
I think that's a possibility. For
I,
us.
what are you gonna wager on that one? Because
I already paid you guys all the food and desserts and everything
yeah.
else.
But my point about that is there's a hatred between these two teams, and I don't think the Raiders will let them do that.
I just think that I agreed with you earlier. The Raiders pretty much it's a team that's quit. They don't have a quarterback that's gonna do that much.
That's why I don't think that I think this game will get out of hand, and Mahomes won't need to throw
The
3 touchdowns.
funniest thing, watch, this is what's gonna happen. The Raiders win this game and lose out on Sanders.
I don't think so.
Watch it. The Raiders will beat the Chiefs and lose their franchise
All right,
quarterback.
I like
Cheers to that
I
one.
like the Chiefs all the way in this one. Brother, that's all we got time for, my friends. We've been the Rant Squad. I'm the Water Dog. This is
But Jordan.
and this is
Bernard.
the game. We are out of here.